Here's a game against a 1285. I'm playing the white pieces. What's interesting about this game is just that it swung back and forth. So open with my usual stuff. Try to control the center, and fairly tame at this point. Takes the knight. That often happens. Queen up. I guess the queen move is to allow him to castle either way. Coming up the flank, I'm trying to control the diagonal. And interesting move here. It looks like he's sacrificing the knight, but if pawn takes knight, the queen comes in and checkmates the white king. So it looks like a sacrifice, but it's a pretty well-known line. So I do that to kind of ask him a question, and he just takes the bishop, which captures toward the center. Not too bad. Creates a little weakness in front of the king, but also opens up the rook. So there's a lot of pawns piled in the middle. So I try to support that structure and free up my rooks, control the center. So here I'm just trying to figure out how to make some progress in the center. And he keeps swinging the knight rather than taking the pawn, which is probably his best option, actually. And what I liked about his move here, and why I think it's a mistake, is the rook is behind the knight, and I can just kind of get a free move, and he's got to move his queen. So I buy some time to advance, and I decide it's worth exchanging over here because I have this sort of advanced pawn on the c file that can maybe be annoying to black. So I try to bolster my attack in the center with the queen. He makes actually a very good move with rook to a5. I think that's a very good move. And if you notice the score, I'm down 3 points, 3 pawns, the equivalent of 3 pawns. So I need to figure something out. So I try making these sort of sacrifices to gain position, and at first they don't really work. And then I'm starting to attack the knight, so he's forced to defend. And I'm trying to find a good spot for my rook, and I'm kind of weaving and bobbing here without much success. So then I get impatient and I exchange, and I kick the king out of the back rank. He moves, and then I'm trying to make something happen on the f file. Here I started to get very nervous, and the computer considered us to be dead even, and I knew not to take that pawn because his queen would just swoop in. And he snatches yet another pawn, but now I double up. Now this move was the most significant blunder of the game. It looks good on paper in that the pawn in front of my king is ready to fall, but he completely leaves his king undefended on the f file, and I know that if there's not an immediate mate, it's going to be a rough ride for him. So check, moves, check, moves, check, must block, check, moves, and bam, a very brutal checkmate in a matter of half a dozen moves. So another one for Hard City. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like. Peace and love.